Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into exactly how AI is just fundamentally reshaping legal drafting. And, let's be honest, the massive professional risks you've got to navigate along the way. We're zeroing in on Claude and how it's actually emerged as the premier tool for legal professionals. Well, when it's configured properly, that is. So imagine a literal nightmare scenario for any advocate, blindly trusting an AI tool and submitting totally fake case law to a judge. Look, AI models do not think like we do. They're basically generating text based on probable patterns. And sometimes they will confidently invent these phantom authorities out of thin air that simply do not exist. And the stakes here are incredibly high. The Bombay High Court actually just leveled a severe 50,000 rupee fine against a lawyer for this exact mistake. I mean, the registry had to waste time conducting a completely useless investigation just to try and track down these fake authorities. The court made it crystal clear. While AI tools are great for aiding research, they absolutely lack human legal judgment. At the end of the day, the ultimate responsibility, it lies with you. So, here's our roadmap for the explainer today. We're going to cover the AI legal dilemma, why Claude excels at drafting, how to set up your AI, executing legal workflows, and finally, ethical AI diligence. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, AI legal dilemma, promise, peril, and practice. You know, there was a time when decades of experience gave senior advocates this almost insurmountable advantage. But today, it's a whole new ballgame. A young, tech-savvy advocate who really masters these AI tools can effectively match or honestly even beat the efficiency and output quality of seasoned seniors. It's a real game changer. Moving right along to Section 2, why Claude wins at drafting. Choosing the right tool for the job. But here's the thing, to get that advantage, you've got to use the right tool. Our sources tested the top models extensively, and what they found is a very clear division of labor. You want to rely on Claude for deep precision drafting. It absolutely excels at IRAC structure and keeping factual claims conservative. But you switch over to Gemini when you need real-time research. You can leverage its Google search grounding to pull up super recent legislative sessions or the most current statutory text. Now, the crucial differentiator here is really how they handle document length. Gemini boasts a massive 1 million token context window. That is huge. However, Claude's smaller 200,000 token window, which, by the way, is still enough to hold about 150,000 words, actually delivers superior, highly structured reasoning. So, for reviewing a single contract or drafting a memo, Claude's analytical depth just totally beats having a larger but kind of less focused capacity. Okay, Section 3, setting up your AI, building your digital assistant. Here's a pro tip. You don't just open Claude and start typing. First, you've got to set global instructions, telling it exactly who you are, say an advocate practicing in a very specific court. Then, you set up dedicated projects right there within Claude. This is absolutely crucial because it maintains a continuous, highly focused context for specific client matters. You just upload your files once, and boom, it remembers everything for that entire engagement. And this right here, this is the real secret sauce. Behavior rules. Feeding Claude specific negative constraints, basically telling it exactly what not to do, totally eliminates that generic AI fluff. For instance, telling it, never tell me to consult a lawyer because, well, you are the lawyer, or don't give disclaimers, literally forces it to skip the robotic pleasantries and produce professional, practice-ready outputs. That brings us to Section 4, executing legal workflows, turning hours into minutes. Let's actually look at the numbers for a second. Take drafting a criminal special leave petition challenging a refusal of anticipatory bail. A task that historically took a lawyer, 4 to 6 hours? It can now be structurally drafted by AI in under 25 minutes. Add a solid 45-minute human polish at the end, and you are completely done in just a fraction of the traditional time. It's wild. A highly specific prompt demonstrates exactly why this workflow is so effective. The trick is, you must dictate the legal framework and the format up front before you even think about feeding Claude the client's facts. By telling the AI exactly what box to operate in from the jump, you prevent it from wandering off into totally irrelevant legal theories. I mean, Claude's versatility is just staggering. In testing, it effortlessly reviewed a 45-page commercial lease, and it pinpointed 14 specific risk issues perfectly organized by severity. It can restructure an NDA to comply with really strict state laws. Or, and I love this one, it can even take your complex written submissions and whip up a one-page bulleted cheat sheet so you never lose your flow during oral arguments. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, Ethical AI Diligence, protecting your practice and your clients. You absolutely must practice strict AI diligence. Remember, AI should be used for hypothesis generation, definitely not as the ultimate authority. Every single citation that Claude or Gemini spits out, it must be independently verified on trusted databases like Manupatra, SEC Online, or India Code. No shortcuts here, you've still got to read the actual cases yourself. Now, the absolute biggest ethical risk you're going to face is confidentiality. Feeding raw client data into a free AI tier, that is a severe breach under the Evidence Act, mostly because that data can be scooped up and used to train future models. This is why paid enterprise tiers like Claude Pro are literally an absolute necessity for law firms. They offer strict data isolation commitments, which ensures your prompts are never, ever used for training. So you want to build an unbreakable ethical shield. Always anonymize highly sensitive info. Keep a local backup or a logbook of your AI workflows. And always keep Bar Council of India Rule 17 in the back of your mind. You are solely responsible for your competence. By sticking to these practices, you actually transform AI from being a massive professional liability into your absolute most powerful competitive advantage. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to take away from our explainer today. We've seen the sheer power of Claude for drafting, right? And we know the absolute necessity of strict AI diligence. Look, the technology is here and it heavily favors those who learn to wield it responsibly. So the question is, are you ready to adapt your practice, or are you willing to risk being outpaced by peers who already